Hi, awesome ones. Today I want to have a conversation with you about going from the online space, which is a little bit unusual, and moving into a live event. There's a bit of a trend now for people going out and running retreats and one-day masterminds or 3 days event. The live event, the connection that people feel at a live event versus to sometimes what they feel online. People are missing that. And meetup groups and networking events and all of the live stuff is coming back into fashion, which I think is great because there's something just really awesome about training a live audience. It's hugely dynamic. You cannot hide behind a monitor. There is no hiding at a live event. But there's a difference between an average event and a really amazing, fabulous event that's run live. The delivery of your content is completely different from online, which may sound like a really obvious statement, but not everyone gets it. So here's some things that if you're looking to make the move online, from online to live, here's some things that I want you to consider. How you block your content is very different, but also kind of the same. So let me explain what I mean here. So the time frames and the chunks obviously are going to be very different. So you need to factor in that, people get distracted a lot easier at a live event. You're going to have to be competing with people being on their phones. You're going to need to be able to deliver in a way that's really engaging. So have a look at how you present your content and drill it live. Like walk around the house, speaking, saying your content out loud. Be aware of your own you might have little nervous mannerisms that you do that you're not even aware of. So before you run a live event, drill your content and practice it. The way you chunk your day is really important because most people, you have a look at the office environment, at 10:15, 10:30, people need to have a break. They need to go and grab that coffee. That 90 minutes, 2 hours, that's kind of enough for most people. So if you start at 9, around 10:30, you definitely need to have a 15-minute or a half an hour break. I would suggest if you're running a 3-day event on that first day, that first break, let it be half an hour because people want to have a chat, connect, they're getting to know each other. And then, 2-hour blocks is a good guide for the rest of your content and the delivery. When you're in there running it live, you might be the most engaging and amazing speaker, but 8 hours of listening to somebody talk at you, no matter how fantastic they or their content is, that gets really boring. So where are you factoring in there times for people to give somebody a high five next to them just to break the energy, or to go and do writing activities or complete processes? Be aware of that. How you're structuring it, how you're blocking it, how you're allowing people to interact and engage in that time. Make sure it's not all about you up on the stage talking at people. Factor in time for people to be able to ask you questions. Now, depending on how you want to manage the time during the day, quite often if I'm running a live event, I say, I'm going to take questions at the end. So I'll go through this piece, write your question down. If you still have that question at the end, we'll take questions at set times during the day. Now what this does, this allows me to manage the time effectively, but it also, 9 times out of 10, when you're delivering your content, you answer the question that the people have, you just haven't gotten to it yet when they want to put their hand up and ask. So allow people time to also ask their questions and for you to answer that. Now we can manage our time and we can write out our event timings to a T. Very, very rarely, especially when I started out, very rarely did it actually run purely to that schedule. So allow yourself time for people to ask questions. Quite often, you allow 5 minutes, people will need 10. So be aware of that. A live event is a very dynamic, movable, flexible energy happening with it. There needs to be that flexibility and that movability within you with what you're delivering. So what happens if you go over time? So you've got a 3-day event, it's day 2, you're an hour behind on the content. Well, this is fixable and solvable depending on how you've chunked your event content to actually begin with. So if you work in 10 to 15 minute little chunks of content as you go through the event, that gives you the flexibility if you need to pull a chunk of content out. Or if you're going ahead, there's also the flexibility to go, okay, great. I've only allowed myself 15 minutes to talk on this, but I actually have more time. So where can I expand what I want to share, or allocate some more time for people to do some more writing or do some more activities? Maybe I can give them an extra 10 minutes at break time. However that looks, but you need to be able to have, we call it behavioral flexibility in our events when we're running these kinds of things. So there's a few things that, this is a bit of a spontaneous video. So they're the few things that came to mind, because I was actually having a conversation with a friend of mine today about events and about running them, and that shift from purely being online to getting out there and being more visible and live and dynamic when we're teaching our thing, right? So it's inspired me. I'm going to create the top tips and the event syntax guide for you to give you guys some support. So if you are planning on taking your online stuff and taking it out to a bigger, wider, liver audience, download it and it'll be able to give you a hand with that. So, but if you also have any other questions, hit me up, because I'm all about your business success and I am more than happy to help.